Have you ever heard that the Vatican, that super important place for Catholics, hides incredible secrets? Well, some say that there are mysterious archives about exorcisms, weapons so powerful that they seem like something out of a movie, and even stories involving aliens. Incredible, right? But are these stories really real, or just made up by people with a lot of imagination? Today, we're going to delve deep into the most intriguing theories and the most frightening mysteries about the Vatican. Get ready, because what you're about to discover might leave you speechless. Getting to know the Vatican. Did you know that there is a place so small that it is considered the smallest country in the world? It's the Vatican. It is so small that it could fit inside a city neighborhood, with an area of 440,000 square meters, almost like a large park. Around 900 people live there, and among them are priests, bishops, cardinals, and even soldiers who are part of a special group called the Swiss Guard. They wear colorful clothes and have the mission of protecting the Pope, who is the leader of the Catholic Church. But the Vatican isn't just special because of that. It's a place full of mysteries that make everyone curious. It's the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Apostolic Church, the heart of the faith of millions of people around the world. But at the same time, many people believe that behind all this religious importance there are secrets kept under lock and key. Some say that there are hidden documents, stories of conspiracies, and even ancient mysteries that no one has been able to unravel to this day. It almost sounds like something out of a movie, doesn't it? The most incredible thing is that, despite being so small, the Vatican is one of the most fascinating and enigmatic places in the world, full of stories to tell. Some true, others so mysterious that no one knows if they are real. Exorcisms in the Vatican. Did you know that the Vatican has a very mysterious practice that seems like something out of a scary story? It's exorcism. Yes, this is real there, and it's part of the fight against evil, according to the Catholic Church. One of the most famous priests in this field was Father Gabriel Amorth. He was the Vatican's chief exorcist for an incredible 60 years. During that time, it is said that he performed between 130,000 and 160,000 exorcisms. That's like he helped thousands of people every year. In 2018, the Vatican showed how seriously it takes this by bringing together more than 250 priests for a sort of school of exorcisms. There, they learned how to deal with difficult cases and use ancient prayers and rituals to combat what they believe to be evil forces. It's like special training to fight evil. And what's more, even Pope John Paul I tried to perform an exorcism once, but according to reports, he was unable to complete the ritual. Just imagine the Pope trying to deal with something so terrifying. The Vatican has super detailed documents that contain information about these stories and other cases of exorcism. It sounds like a mystery straight out of a book, right? But for many people in the Vatican, this is all very serious and part of protecting people from evil. What else do they keep in these documents? Just thinking about it gives me butterflies in my stomach. The apocrypha of the Bible. Did you know that the Bible, that book so important to millions of people, was once very different from what we know today? When it was translated from Latin to English in 1611, it had 80 books. But something curious happened. In 1684, the Vatican decided to remove 14 of these books, called the Apocrypha. And the most intriguing thing, no one has explained exactly why they were removed. These books have very interesting names, such as Ezra, Judith, and Wisdom of Solomon. They say that the reason for hiding them was because they contained ideas that seemed to contradict what the Catholic Church taught. It is as if these texts did not fit with the other books of the Bible. But is that all? Many people believe that these missing books are still kept in some highly protected place inside the Vatican, perhaps in the famous secret archives. There, they supposedly keep ancient documents and texts that the world cannot see. Just imagine what these books could tell. Perhaps different stories, forgotten teachings, or secrets that could change the way we understand the Bible. It's no wonder that so many people are fascinated by this idea, right? Who knows, maybe one day these mysteries will be revealed. Crime in the Vatican, a small place with big challenges. When we think of the Vatican, we imagine a place full of peace, spirituality, and history. After all, it is the smallest country in the world, home to the Catholic Church, and receives millions of visitors every year. But what few people know is that it also faces an unexpected problem, a high crime rate. And no, this does not mean that priests, cardinals, or the Swiss Guards are committing crimes. The reason lies with tourists, or rather, the smart guys who infiltrate their midst. Every year, people from all over the world visit the Vatican to see St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel, and the Vatican museums, full of art and history. However, in the midst of all this beauty, there is also danger. With so many people enchanted by taking photos, looking up to admire painted ceilings, or distracted by tour guides, thieves see a perfect opportunity. They act quickly, stealing wallets, cell phones, bags, and even backpacks. The most common crimes in the Vatican are pickpocketing, and most of them happen in crowded places, where tourists are more interested in enjoying the place than in taking care of their belongings. Thieves, usually professionals, know how to act without being noticed. Some pretend to be tourists, while others use tricks such as asking for directions or accidentally bumping into someone to distract the victim. The Vatican knows that this happens and even issues warnings on its official website to help visitors protect themselves. They recommend simple but very useful tips. Hold on to your belongings. Keep bags and backpacks in front of your body, not on your back. Avoid showing off valuables, such as jewelry, expensive watches, or cameras hanging around your neck. Be alert in crowds. Thieves like crowded places where they can blend in and escape easily. Don't get distracted. Even when something seems strange, keep your eyes on your belongings. What is striking is that despite being such a small place, with less than 1,000 inhabitants, the Vatican faces this type of challenge precisely because it is one of the most visited destinations in the world. To give you an idea, in a single year, more than 6 million people pass through St. Peter's Square. And that's not all. The Vatican, being so close to Rome, attracts the same types of problems that a large city faces. Some visitors are even surprised to discover that they can be victims of crime in a place considered sacred. It is important to remember that the Swiss Guard and local security forces work hard to protect visitors, but with so many people circulating, it is impossible to prevent all thefts from happening. At the end of the day, the Vatican is an incredible place, full of history, art, and spirituality. But just like any other famous tourist spot in the world, you need to be careful. After all, even in such a special and sacred place, there are people who are not there just to admire the beauty, but rather to take advantage of the distracted. So if you have the chance to visit the Vatican, make the most of every second. But remember, you can never be too careful. The strange and scary Corpse Synod. Can you believe that there was once a trial where the accused was dead? It sounds like something out of a movie, but it really happened in the year 897, and the episode became known as the Corpse Synod. The protagonist of this macabre story was Pope Formosus, who had already been dead for months. He was unearthed. That's right, they took his body out of the tomb and taken to a court as if he were going to take part in a trial. Get ready, because what happened next is even more unbelievable. When they removed Pope Formosus' body, they didn't stop there. They dressed the corpse in the official clothes of a pope, as if he were about to perform a solemn ceremony. Then, they placed the body on a chair in the papal court, right in the center of Rome. The idea was to judge and condemn Pope Formosus for alleged crimes that he had committed while he was alive. The charges included abuse of power, disobedience of church rules, and irregularities in his actions as a leader. But of course, he was already dead and could not defend himself. To make the trial even more surreal, a priest was forced to represent Pope Formosus and answer the charges, speaking as if he were him. During the trial, everyone acted as if this lifeless body were capable of hearing and understanding the accusations. It was as if they were turning a courtroom into a macabre play, but with real consequences. After the entire trial, the court ruled that Pope Formosus was guilty. But the punishment did not stop at the guilty verdict. Those responsible for the trial did terrible things to his remains. First, they cut off the fingers he used to bless people, as a way of dishonoring his role as pope. Then, they tore off the official vestments they had placed on his body and treated the remains with total contempt. And the final fate of the corpse, it was thrown into the waters of the Tiber River in Rome, as if it were garbage. This event was not only cruel, but also very political. At that time, there were many power struggles within the church. Rival groups fought for control, and Pope Formosus ended up being a victim of this climate of rivalry, even after his death. The trial was conducted by Pope Stephen VI, who wanted to eliminate any trace of influence from Formosus and his allies. It was like an attempt to erase the past in a brutal and symbolic way. The Cadaver Synod is remembered as one of the strangest and most shocking episodes in the history of the Catholic Church. It not only shows how intense power struggles could be, but also how politics could surpass all limits of logic and respect. Imagine the scene: a serious court, full of important people, judging a corpse dressed as a pope. It is something that seems unimaginable today, but it really happened. Even centuries later, this event continues to fascinate and horrify people. It makes us reflect on what power, political disputes, and rivalries can do, even in a place considered sacred. The Cadaver Synod is a reminder that history is sometimes even stranger than fiction. The mysterious secret archives of the Vatican. Have you ever imagined a place where the greatest secrets of the world are kept? Well, such a place exists, and it is known as the Vatican Secret Archives. Inside, there is so much stuff stored that, if we stretched out all the shelves, they would reach an impressive 85 kilometers. It is like a gigantic library full of historical documents, important letters, scientific discoveries, and many other records that marked the history of humanity. But there is one detail. Despite the name being Secret Archives, not everything there is completely secret. Some parts of these archives have already been opened to the public, especially for researchers. However, most of the content is inaccessible to ordinary people and can only be consulted by members of the high hierarchy of the Church. And that is where the speculation begins. Many people believe that these archives are hiding information so surprising that it could change the world. For example, do they know something about extraterrestrial life? What if they hide documents about weapons so powerful that no one should know? Or even time machine designs? These ideas may seem like the stuff of science fiction, but for those who love mysterious theories, the secret archives are like a safe full of possibilities. The truth is that the Vatican keeps these documents so carefully that it only increases people's curiosity. After all, what could be hidden inside? Are they just old stories or something much bigger and more surprising? We only know one thing: the Vatican's secret archives continue to be one of the biggest enigmas in the world. The Vatican is a place that seems to have been made to keep mysteries, right? For more than 2,000 years, it has protected secrets that intrigue everyone to this day. Will we ever discover everything that is hidden there? Or will these mysteries continue to be kept forever, like a true hidden treasure? Only time will tell. So, what did you think of these incredible stories? If you like them and want to continue exploring mysteries like these, don't forget to like them. It helps a lot. Oh, and take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming videos full of fascinating curiosities and secrets. See you on the next adventure.